Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. And what we're going to make are Mocha chocolate chip cookies. Now these cookies can be made with nuts or without nuts. They also can use your regular chocolate chips, or I actually use espresso flavor because you're going to be putting in coffee in this, or cappuccino powder if you make it with water. Whatever you're going to use. I like to use the espresso flavor, but certainly these cookies come out just delicious with the regular chocolate or milk chocolate that you buy in the store. So that's going to be up to you, okay? This recipe actually kind of inspired me because there was someone that left me a message that they would like to see these cookies made. And the more that I researched it, I thought, wow, what a great looking cookie, what a great tasting cookie, and it's relatively pretty easy to make, okay? Also, I won't have the ingredients below my video. I no longer do that due to so many people taking my videos and claiming them theirs and putting them on other platforms. So I'm going to try to very carefully explain what the ingredients are and to remind you to watch me solely on YouTube. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're first going to work on our dry ingredients because it's very quick and very easy. 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. We're also going to put a teaspoon of salt in that. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. That was 1 teaspoon. 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And then I'm just going to stir it with a spoon. You don't have to worry about, completely mixing it. Just give it a good stir. And then set the dry ingredients to the side to when we need them in a little bit. Next we're going to do is start to make the cookie dough. So you're going to need butter. Now, you don't have butter, don't like butter, go ahead, try margarine. I've made them with both and they come out absolutely delicious. You're going to need 2 sticks or 1/2 pound of your butter or your margarine. I cut it up into small pieces and I do leave it at room temperature, okay? And I'm just going to start to break that butter up and to start to cream it. Now, you can make these cookies with your hand mixer if you want. If you don't have a stand-up or don't want to use your stand-up, but for me it's faster, it's easier for my videos. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to cream in brown sugar. So you're going to be needing 1 cup of brown sugar. Now, it's up to you. Do you want to use light brown sugar? You want to use dark? It really doesn't matter. It's up to you. Now, you're certainly going to cream this longer and beat it longer till it's nice and smooth. But again, I'm moving it along for the video. We're also going to be putting in 1/2 cup of granulated sugar. Now I'm going to raise my speed a little bit, so I want to warn you about the sound. Okay. I'm just going to go in with my spatula here to make sure that the sides are coming together and check that bottom where it tends to stick. Okay. So I want to beat that just for a few more minutes. Now, once you cream that all together, and maybe it'll take you 2 minutes, maybe it'll take you 3. It depends on your speed, just so it's well mixed, okay? The next thing that you're going to put in is 2 tablespoons of chocolate syrup. Use whatever brand that you want. This is the chocolate syrup that, many of us put on over ice cream or pound cake, or, make chocolate milk out of it, whatever. Just 2 tablespoons of your favorite brand, okay? And we're going to beat that for a few seconds here. Okay, now once you do that, you're also going to beat in 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. And of course, we do need eggs. We're going to need 2 of them. I've had them at room temperature, and I'll beat 1 in at a time. Okay. Now this cookie will have a nice, rich, medium brown color, due to the coffee or the cappuccino that we're going to be putting in, that you decide to put in, and because of the chocolate syrup, okay? So it's going to be a darker color than your traditional chocolate chips that we all make, okay? All right, the next thing that we're going to do is start putting in our dry ingredients a little at a time, and then I'm going to add the 1.5 teaspoons of coffee or cappuccino. If you are going to use cappuccino powder, mix it with 2 tablespoons of hot water. I actually have just taken coffee, and you can use 1.5 teaspoons of your favorite coffee, okay? But I'm not going to put that in till I start bringing in the dry. And you're just, you know, beating it lightly. You don't want to go too high speed because you don't want this flour all over you in the kitchen. Okay. Whoops. Knocking things over today in the kitchen. Okay. Now once it starts to gather and it looks like this, like a cookie dough, as you can see, I hope you can see that, okay? I hope I'm, okay, holding it at your eye level that you can see. All right, we're just going to turn it on and beat it a little bit longer. Okay, this is when I'm putting my coffee in. Now, you do not have to use your mixer. You can put in the chocolate chips and your nuts by hand. I like to do them, I don't put them too high speed because I don't want to break them up. But you can do it by hand. Now, you're going to need 18 ounces of your chocolate chips, depending on whatever you want to use. If you want to try the espresso flavor as I'm using, or just your regular milk chocolate, or whatever flavor that you have in your kitchen or that you prefer. 18 ounces of that. Now, with the nuts, you're going to put in 1.5 cups of chopped walnuts, whatever type of nut that you would like, that you prefer, but walnuts really do taste good in this. And then I'm going to slowly putting in this just to incorporate it, just to mix it, not to break up the pieces, okay? Okay, I also like to use my mixer because I think it just distributes the chocolate chips and the nuts so much better than what I can do by hand. But that's up to you. Okay, so I'm just gonna get my bowl out here and push that out of the way, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like. Okay. It has such a rich, nice smell to this cookie batter. You can see the beautiful chocolate chips that are in there. Now, I have some already mixed. Now, I'm taking it out of the fridge. You do not have to refrigerate this, okay? But I kind of like to. But they'll come out beautiful if you don't. But I have some here already that has been made, and it's chilled. You can let it sit out for a few minutes if you feel that that's, you know, a little too cold. And then, of course, you need a cookie sheet or pan. Go ahead, use your parchment paper if you want. I like to just spray it very lightly if I'm not using parchment paper. If you're using the silicone mats, go ahead and use that. And I'm using the small scoop. If you don't have a small scoop, use it about a teaspoon size, okay? And just put your cookie down about 2.5 inches apart, because this cookie is going to spread out. This particular cookie doesn't, it bakes it more in a flattened position. So it needs room when it bakes and it spreads out. So give it about 2.5 inches or so. Now, you're going to bake this cookie at 350 degrees, and it's going to take you anywhere from 12 to 14 minutes. Start watching your cookies early. As we know, all ovens set up so differently. I actually start watching mine, about within 10 minutes or so. So it's really up to you, because you don't want to overbake them. You don't want to dry them out, that kind of thing. Now, if you make the smaller teaspoon size, you can get about 3 dozens out of it. If you choose to make them bigger, of course, you're going to get less and yield less out of the recipe. But like I said, if you do the teaspoon, you're going to get about 3 dozen. So let me just rinse my hands quickly, and then I'd like to show you what this cookie will look like when it's baked up. And I like to wash or rinse my hands because I've been handling raw dough and cookie dough, as well as raw eggs. And this is how they're going to bake up. Again, I don't know how much you can see of the color, but it's a medium brown. It's not your traditional real light colored chocolate chip. Okay, you'll be able to see I did put nuts in this recipe that I have here. I did not put any in the ones that you just saw, but it's really up to you whether you want to put those nuts in or not, okay? Now, when it does bake up, you will have a hard finish on the top, and you will have a hard finish on the bottom. Now, when you break into it, though, it will be beautifully chewy to the cookie. It's not a real dense cookie. It's it's quite light. They just melt in your mouth. And I'll just try to break in again, and maybe even try to just kind of squeeze the cookie, and you can see that chocolate just coming through in those nuts. It's such a good cookie. It's great with a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, and they're relatively pretty easy to make. So, and there you have it. You've got Mocha chocolate chip cookies. And you can, as I said, use nuts if you prefer, or leave them out. Now, also, I'd like to say, if you have a comment or you like this recipe, well, please leave me a message, or I appreciate, ring the bell, and it'd be fantastic if you even decided to subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. I also would appreciate you watching my videos solely on YouTube, because that's the only place that I put them. And I'm so disappointed when many of you write to me or have comments or questions. I can't answer you because my video you saw was on another site. I don't get any of those messages from you or comments. So please, write me, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I hope you like this recipe. Well, I hope you give it a try. So I want to thank you again for watching Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. Thanks for watching, and hey, I'll see you soon.